Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are seeing me for the first time, I'm Intentional Favor, and on this channel I film about faith, lifestyle, studying abroad and social work. So please, if you'd like to join us in this wonderful family, feel free to hit the red subscribe button below. Also hit the notification bell so that I get notified each time I release new videos. And to you, my amazing returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for always coming back. I received loads of interesting questions in my last video. So many questions, and they are very interesting. Okay, and because of those questions, although I replied to some people, but I decided to come here and clarify few things, and that's the reason for this video. Those questions, like I promised so many people in the comment section, actually made me to carry out further research. And my research is not just about reading. My research also involved getting or maybe asking the students or people that I know that have actually done that, people that already switched their visa from Tier 4, from student visa to skilled worker visa, and those in the process of doing so. Yes, that was what my research was all about. And you know, on this channel it's all about lived experiences, right? I share my experiences and the experiences of others as far as studying abroad is concerned, and of course other life matters. Let me leave a disclaimer at this point. Every information, everything I'll be sharing in this particular video, they are all based on my personal research and of course from the lived experiences of international students in the UK. So please, I would advise, feel free to carry out your own research, okay, gather more information, and as I always advise, own every information you take action towards. One of the questions I got the most in my last video was people asking, okay, at what point, especially if they want to complete their studies, at one point can they actually switch their visa? Okay, yeah, so at one point can one switch from a study or student visa, the Tier 4 visa, to the Tier 2 skilled workers visa? At what point? And I must say, if you ask that question or you have it at the back of your mind, like it's a question in your mind, you are very wise, and I must commend you. That's a very wise question to ask, because so many times people, when they hear such news, I mean good and exciting news like this, they just jump into action without really considering some implications, without asking questions. How does this really work? What are the other things I need to know in order for me to switch to this visa or for me to take action about this? So you are a very wise person if you ask that question, or it's a question that you've been meaning to ask, and I'm going to address that now. According to the UK guideline, you can switch from your student visa to a skilled worker visa no more than 3 months from the expected end date of your program. What that means is, for instance, if your program ends on the 31st of August, of course, when you apply for your visa, everything, it has to say your offer letter, your university will tell you the end date as well as the start date of your course, okay? So if the end date of your program is 31st of August 2022, for instance, what it means is that the earliest you can apply to switch from a student visa to a skilled worker visa is the 31st of May, 3 months before the end of your program. You cannot do that in February, March, April, May 20th, May 30th. It has to be from 31st of May. That is if your program ends 31st of August. I want to believe you understand the calculation. So that's the earliest you can apply. However, that does not mean that you cannot begin your job search, attend interviews, or receive an employment offer before 31st of May. Okay, that is not what it means. So you can go ahead even before 31st of May, before the end, 3 months to the end of your program. You can go on and start applying for jobs. From my personal experience, employers, they usually consider people who at the point of application or at the point of giving the offer that their program is almost coming to an end. 3 months, yeah, their program will end within 3 months. That's my experience. There's something about 3 months and this country, I must say. Yes, so from my experience, most times, once your program, like when you did interview, because most times after interview, it takes a little while, from my experience, then they will make a decision whether or not you passed or not. If your program ends 3 months from your interview date or giving you employment, they would usually consider you. 3 months, yes. And of course, that still doesn't mean that when they give you the offer, you have to wait to start the process and all. Your employer, once they are licensed, can actually begin the process of issuing you the certificate of sponsorship, and they can give it to you. Okay, so they can give you your certificate of sponsorship. They can begin the process as early as March, April. Okay, yeah, that's the earliest I would advise. The reason is that once your COS is issued, your certificate of sponsorship, once it is issued, you are expected to apply for a visa with that certificate within 3 months of receiving it. Hope that's clear. Like I said, there's something about 3 months, 3 months. So what I'm saying in essence is that if you, let's say that, using the example I started with, please, I don't want to get anyone confused. I started with using someone that the program ends on 31st of August. I'll be using that all through this scenario in my examples. Okay, so I said that the earliest you can actually apply to switch your visa is 31st of May, right? Yeah. So, and that doesn't mean that you can't start applying for jobs. So let's say that you got a job, okay, say anytime. Your employer from March, April can start processing your COS. Most times when they apply for your COS, it takes 2 days maximum most times. Okay, all things being equal. Things change, so don't put me. Things change, but all things being equal, once they complete the application, within 2 days maximum, your COS should be out. Okay, and you are expected to apply for your visa within 3 months of receiving that certificate number, that certificate of sponsorship. So what it means is that for this example we are giving, the earliest I will advise your employer from February or March. No, did I say February? Yeah, depending, but the best is let them start March, April to apply for your COS. So your COS can come out in April, and then 31st of May, June, you can then apply to switch your visa. Now, let's talk about those who don't want to complete their program. Okay, yes, those that, okay, probably at the deepest, like, we can't see the heart, only God does. But maybe if they should tell you, they review the content of their heart, you will find out that they actually hear, like, they follow the study route as a way of migrating. Yeah, you know what I mean. Japaism. Yeah. So let's talk about those that all they want to do is just to come here and they are ready to fulfill their masters, their program, and then switch immediately to skilled worker visa. Are you in that category? That's one of the questions I also got. Now, when I got this question, one thing I did was to reach out to someone I know that has actually done this. Okay. As a matter of fact, she has already switched from Tier 4 visa, student visa, to the skilled worker visa. She has already gotten her BRP. She's now on Tier 2 visa. Okay, yeah, so that was part of my research. Remember, I said that earlier. So what did she do? Yeah, simple. She wrote to her uni. Okay, she told her uni that, okay, that she's got this job and they are willing to sponsor her, and she now opted for maybe deferring her studies or switching to part-time because she actually wants to take up this job offer. That was what she did. And her university, of course, wrote a letter addressing that, yeah, they are aware that she wants to switch to a new visa. She's got this job and they are willing to sponsor her and all of that. And with that letter, she applied for her visa. Okay, I'm going to say some things now. So some hints, guys. Just take this from me. Just pay attention now. Don't ever be afraid of your university. Don't be afraid to ask your university, your department, your lecturers questions, especially when it comes to visa, okay? I know we are from Africa, most of us, and sometimes we used to have this mentality of what our lecturers are like. I think I've mentioned in some of my videos, lecturers here, people here are generally not like that, okay? They are very approachable, all right? So don't be so scared. Sometimes you guys come here and ask me questions, not just me, you ask so many questions on YouTube, you ask YouTubers questions. Let me tell you, sometimes there's some information we don't always have answers to all your questions. Some questions when they ask me, what I usually advise people, I personally, I unashamedly accept the fact that I don't know. I don't know about this, I'm sorry. And most times I just tell people, why not send an email to your university? That's just the best thing to do, honestly. Okay. Now, I'm going to do something now in this video. I'm going to read out an email conversation I had with my university when it comes to switching my own visa. So you know that I'm not giving you an advice that I don't practice. No, No, I don't preach what I don't do. That's not me, okay? Yeah, so I'm going to read it out. I'll share it for you guys to hear and know that these are the things that you should do. All right? Yeah, let's go. So the title, the subject, be careful. Just watch the subject of this email is visa compliance inquiry. I don't joke with stuff like this. I don't want to enter trouble. I don't want to be an illegal immigrant. I don't want to do something that afterwards they will send me back. No, 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 no. I've come a long way. To fear, God forbid. Allah magic. You don't want that to happen to you. So tread with caution, guys. Don't just take every information you hear. You come here, you ask any YouTuber or anybody and they give it to you. I know why I'm taking my time to sound like this. So people might start saying I'm talking too much. But please, it's for emphasis. He that has ear, let him hear to what intentional favor is saying. All right? Okay. Now back to business. So I wrote this. I said, hi Lauren, I'm a student, I'm a social work student and an international student, and my program will officially be over on 6th January 2022. I have gotten a job and they offered that prior to my social work England registration in January, I can start working as a family support worker. However, I am not sure if my visa allows me to take up this role, considering that I have finished all my coursework and just awaiting the end of my program in January. I will be glad if you could advise me on this, please. This is an information, like, this is what I expect you, like, to do if you want to switch visa. Remember, I advised you that the student wrote to her university. Look what I want to do. Don't just take the law into your hands. Don't just do anything. Because, mind you, some things are treated case by case. One university can be different from another. And some university, maybe whoever it is, might be ignorant. Some might not be. So don't go and make some steps because you heard that Mr. Lagbaja did it. Mrs. B did it and it worked for them. Then you just want to take it that way. I will always tell you, go back to your uni. All right? Okay. Now, of course, she replied, hi, Miss Summer. Thank you for your email. Your current visa is quite restricted. It will be better if they could sponsor you for a new visa, such as skilled worker visa. She's one advising this, mind you, my uni. On your current visa, you are not permitted to fill a full-time permanent vacancy. However, you can start a full-time temporary vacancy after your official course end date on 6th January 2022. Until then, until 6th of January, you can only work part-time. So that's also a clue for you that once your program officially ends, that is where you can fill a full-time position temporarily because you are given 4 months from the end date of your visa. All right? Yeah. Okay. And also take note of her. I purposely didn't conceal this information. Take note of her office. She is UKVI Tier 4 Compliance Coordinator of my university. So guys, it's my advice to you. Please make sure that you have key email addresses, know key departments in your uni, and know who to ask the right questions. Okay, so I wrote to her and this was her reply. Then she came back to me later. Mind you, when this conversation was taking place was November last year. Okay, and we are currently in April, right? Okay, now she wrote back to me. Of course, she checked something. Then she wrote back to me, hi, I just had a check on page 38 or in the guidance. And it says you can apply to switch from student or tier 4 visa to skilled worker as long as you apply no more than 3 months before you are expected to complete the course. It is already less than 3 months until your course end date, so you are permitted to get sponsorship and switch to skilled worker now if you wanted to. So when I came here last week to come and tell you guys, okay, you can switch to this visa, it's not an essay. I'm not telling you what I don't know because I have asked this question November last year because of my own situation. You know, here I tell you my experiences and it's based on this information and of course experiences of other people that I know that have actually done this. I came out here and I told you guys about it and then I received further questions and I'm here to address it. This is from my university visa compliance officer. Yeah. Okay, so that is one thing that you guys should know. Always go back to your uni. Some people here on this YouTube street can give you any advice, but I always advise, guys, own every information you take action towards. Before you hear anything and just go straight to do it, make sure that you can boldly. Don't come and say, intentional favor said it now. Please don't call me. I always leave a disclaimer. Make sure that you own it and be convinced, of course. I'm not saying that I come here to share. Of course, every information I share here is always verified, but I still know what I mean because things change. Okay, that's why now sometimes I'm being careful when people ask me about visa application, this, and that, because sometimes things really change. I applied for my visa 2019. This is 2022. A lot might have changed. Okay, so guys, own every information, and when you are watching any video, please check the date that video was published, because as at when that video is being published, it might be true. Okay, but when you are watching it, it can even be 1 week difference. A lot might have changed. Guys, the second hint I wanted to give you guys is just to tell you, your universities in the UK, they are aware of how international students struggle to pay up their fees. They are not ignorant of that. If only you know how many students are sent back to their country because they couldn't meet up with paying up their tuition fee, your eyes will be open. If only you get the statistics. These are untold stories that people are actually sent back because when you don't meet up with what the university says, that you should pay up your tuition fee, some universities are so strict. That's why I will advise every university you want to come in, and especially when you have it at the back of your mind that you want to pay up your tuition fee, ask them of their payment plan. Don't ask any YouTuber. Don't ask, email them. That's one of the highlights of this video. Email your university and ask them of their payment plan. Some payment plans of some universities are very, very good, like they are flexible, others are not. And when you go to such university, you find out that once the deadline passes for you to pay a certain amount of your fee or whatever, they will withdraw their license because they are sponsoring you. Any visa you have in this country, there must be a sponsor. So for your tier 4, for your student visa, it is your university that is your sponsor. And once you don't meet the requirements or the expectations of the uni, they will do what? Withdraw. They will write to Home Office and withdraw their sponsorship of you. And what that means is that you don't have any legal right to be in the country. Then you will go home. I don't think you want that to be your experience. Okay, so make sure you check the payment plan of the university you apply, especially if you have it at the back of your mind. All these people that come here, you have 10,000 to pay in 1 year, and you have your accommodation and all of that. That's all I have to tell you. Okay. So they are fully aware. So I believe that, in my opinion, a university that you wrote to telling them that you've gotten this job and all of that, I don't think that they will really decline and just you can't switch, you must be with us and all. No, they will rather you honorably switch a visa and leave. Of course, you've paid them your deposit. You've given them your deposit. Now, people ask, will I now be expected to pay up my balance fee? When you didn't finish your program, they didn't give you certificate. What is there again to pay up for? When you are already switched and you are no longer a student, you are no longer on student visa, what is there for you to do? You won't be expected to pay up the tuition fee. But make sure you live honorably. Inform your university of your decisions. Let them tell you what you should do. Okay, like I told you, the student wrote to the university telling them, and the university approved of, they gave her letter and all of that. And I'm speaking to you right now, she already has her tier 2 visa and she didn't pay up her tuition fee. In case you are asking, no, she did not. Now, the last question that I'll be addressing that I got in this particular video is people asking me about dependent switching, okay? Because I advised in my last video, and I still stand on my advice, that if the dependent gets a job that wants to offer sponsorship, you can grab it, switch your own visa as a dependent, but please allow the student to continue. Because like I said, the student also, if the student now wants to still switch and be a dependent of the spouse now who is on tier 2 visa, still ask your university, please. Someone I know, I already know someone. I know someone that has actually done the same thing. He switched from dependent visa to tier 2 visa, but the wife did not. Okay, the wife continued. The student continued her program and is still on her program anyways. And when she finishes, she will now become her husband's dependent. Well, the bad side of it is that the husband in this case will get indefinite leave to remain before the wife. But it's just some years apart depending on the number of courses, number of years the program of the wife is. Do you get it? Because at the end of the day, you are on study visa and the university, you are an international student. Because some people also ask me, if you come on visiting visa or you are a spouse and you are and you're on dependent visa and you get admission, guys, what you will do in that case is for you to do what? Follow the normal procedure of getting a student visa. You can't be studying as an international student under dependent visa. You have to go for study visa. You'll be issued your cards because you have to apply as an international student. Anyways, all these are just what I think based on putting things together. This is just what my common sense tells me. But at the end of the day, I will always advise, before you take any action, please ask your university. Don't be afraid of them. They are not your Niger lecturers in case you are from Nigeria. They are not like that. They are very approachable and they will share every information with you. And with that, I've come to the end of this video. Please don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you still waiting for? Subscribe, hit that red button, and also hit the bell so that once I release videos, you'll be the first person to get notified about that. Leave comments in the comment section. We probably will continue this video in the comment section, and share this video generously with as many people that you think might need it, and I'll be seeing you in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take care of yourselves. Bye.